It's time to get your plant and garden questions answered.
Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is on the weather patio. The number to call today is 270-9933. Hi, Lisa. How you doing?
Hello. How are you guys?
Great.
Pretty good.
Let's go right to the phones.
Okay.
And we'll start with Sherry in Lowell. Hi, Sherry. What's your question?
Hi, I got some plants earlier this year. I got some eucalyptus and lavender, and I was just wondering, how do I keep the bugs from coming in the house? Because when I trim my lavender or my eucalyptus, I had these little flies.
So the little flies might be fungus gnats. That's if they're just flying around and not on your plant. They could be fungus gnats, which are, they lay eggs in the soil and they don't really bother the plant. Or they could be whitefly, which would do some damage to the plant. Either way, what you're going to want to do is treat your plants with some insecticidal soap. You can get that at the garden center. Spray them down, and then since we're so close to the weather where it's really cold, I would also get a systemic insecticide. You can put that in the soil, and that will help if there are any eggs hanging around. That will take care of the eggs as well. Then just give them a good wash and bring them inside. Good sun, though, sunny spot for wherever you're going to put them.
All right, let's go to Brenda now in Janesville. Hi, Brenda.
Oh, hi.
Hi, what's your question?
Oh, I've got plants, tomato plants especially, that have brown spots, yellow and brown spots on the leaves. I didn't get much of the tomatoes this year, and now that the leaves are falling from the trees, these brown spots are all over everything now. The leaves are, and I thought, I can't keep it out of my plants. Is this going to carry over to next year, or what should I do?
You probably have one of the tomato leaf blights. There are 3 of them that are pretty common around here. They're in the air. It doesn't have anything to do with spots that are on other plants. These are fungal diseases that just attack tomatoes. So if your tomatoes are growing in pots, make sure that you change out your potting soil next year. Don't use the same soil. And if you're growing them in a garden bed or a raised bed, then move them to a different section. And then you're probably going to want to treat them preventatively with a fungicide. When the weather is humid and warm, we have a lot of tomato diseases, fungal diseases, and it's been that way for the last couple of years, and so they're just kind of hanging around.
Yeah, it does feel like year after year that happens.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Helen in Wanakee. Hi, Helen. What's your question?
Yes, I was just wondering, when do you cut back your roses, or you just leave them until next spring?
If you've got shrub roses, Helen, I would leave them until next spring. You're going to get some winter dieback anyway. You might as well get it from where you are now instead of from where you cut back. So in the spring, when you've got new growth coming out that's about 1/4 of an inch long, then you can trim them. You can cut back whatever died. You can also trim them to shape. If you have hybrid roses, and hardly anybody does anymore, what you'll want to do is cover the crowns with some bark mulch, cut them back so they fit into a cone, and then put that cone on once it starts getting really cold.
All right, let's go to Diane in Oregon. Hi, Diane.
Hi there.
What's your question?
I'm wondering, is it now we should do the fall fertilizing in the yard or wait till our last clipping?
You could put your fall fertilizer down now. The weather is cooling, the ground is cooling. Do a good rake and, get any foliage that has already fallen, clean up the grass, and then go ahead and put the fall fertilizer down.
All right, Jackie in Cuba City, you're next. What's your question?
Yes, thank you. When do I trim my burning bush?
Burning bush are really, you can trim them at any time since they don't really flower. They don't really care when you prune them back. So if you want to wait until the leaves fall off so you can see what the structure of the plant looks like, you can wait until then, or you can do it next spring, whatever fits into your gardening chore schedule.
Yeah. All right, you don't want to do it now because they got all the red leaves on them now. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go to Rosie in Linden Station. Hi, Rosie.
Hi. I would like to know, my hydrangeas have not blossomed in the last 3 years. They're beautiful, big, 4-foot-high plants, but they won't blossom. Should I cut them back to the ground, or what do I do with them?
Rosie, are your hydrangeas, do they have cone-shaped flowers or round flowers?
Round.
Okay, so those hydrangeas, it's best to do the pruning in the spring when you see where the buds are. I would maybe Put some mulch on the crowns of the plants once the ground freezes. So get a couple bags of bark mulch, put in your garage so it won't freeze. And maybe around mid to late November, pile some mulch on to protect the buds that are already forming for next year's flowers and see if that helps. And then prune back in the spring.
Okay. A lot of calls in today.
Yeah,
Thank you all
it's a
for
busy
calling.
time in the garden.
It sure is. You'd think it'd be quiet, but it's not. Lisa, thank you.
Great to see you, Lisa. We'll
Good to
do this
see you
again
guys, too.
soon. Thanks for your calls
Right.
today, everybody.
We have